Hello, I am Mason Patterson with your Chinese Foreign Relations and Social Matters.
Hello, I'm Kyle Foley with your Chinese Economic Relations and Cultural Matters.
Soon we will be going live to our intern Gabriel Bass for whatever he does.
He's new here. We can just give him the other jobs.
And
But
welcome to
Friday Morning Live.
I'm Gabriel Bass, the intern here live in China, here to tell you about the political matters in China. The Communist Party is currently in power with leader Xi Jinping as president of China. One word could be used to describe China's internal politics right now would be fragile. The Communist Party is in power in every position in government, and if they messed up once, then the other parties would completely take over. Xi Jinping is in charge of the Communist Party, and on top of that, he's also president. The Congress has 11 seats opening up, and that could determine whether Xi Jinping gets what he wants or not. Xi Jinping sees himself as a visionary, transformative leader for China. The Communist Party was in shambles and falling apart before he came into power. There was corruption everywhere, and when he got to power, he dropped it by a lot. Xi Jinping is attempting to cut down on SOEs or state-owned enterprises in an attempt to cut down on the reliance of the government. It isn't a full-scale privatization, but it is a small step to reduce the reliance of citizens on the government. From me and my new friend here in China, back to you, Mason and Kydell.
The Chinese and U.S. foreign relations have been deteriorating recently. After President Trump pulled out of the Paris Accords, China and the U.S. have been on bad terms. Under the Obama presidency, China and the U.S. bonded over environmental issues. China has attempted to gain control of the South China Sea, but no one territory can lay claim on this area. Trillions of dollars go through the South China Sea each year, as well as fishing and other commercial businesses.
Hello, I'm Kyle Fuller, and I will be going over your economy status in China. China's current economic status is not so well, with its currency inflation, its foreign reserve cash is needing to be used, its European trade and its U.S. trade are all not doing so great. However, the yuan is on a downfall for a while now. Its downfall has brought it down 30% from the US dollar. Now when they must trade with us, they have to trade much more of their currency to equal our currency. They have been accused by Donald Trump of manipulating their currency, even though everything is made in China. So I just think that Donald Trump is just mad and wants more stuff. Or Trump is just mad because his hair is all messed up and he just wants to take it out in China. However, China's yuan will soon be on its rise, however, because they are now using foreign reserve cash to make up for it. The foreign reserve cash is coming out of Europeans' money that they got them and their neighboring countries. Commissioner Mallinstone thinks that independence in regards to foreign trade is needed. So they need that foreign trade independence because if they have that independence, their currency inflation may not be such a big deal. As they have to trade with Europe, with all those countries there, they are not as independent together trading individually. From Europe, they gain industrial and consumer goods, machinery equipment, and footwear and clothing. However, they are only exporting from China machinery and equipment and motor vehicles. With the U.S., their trade is doing much better, where in the U.S., China is getting more than China is giving more to the U.S. than it is getting, which is earning them a lot more money. That is all for today, folks. I'll now send you over to Mason Patterson with the Social Matters.
As for Chinese social matters, many Chinese citizens believe they're losing their traditions and lifestyles. Many think consumerism and commercialism are threatening their beliefs. Corrupt officials are a decreasing problem in China. Since 2016, approximately 122 government officials have been arrested. China has recovered billions of yuan from the officials' actions. The standard of living in China has been on the rise. Chinese economic success has improved the living conditions for millions. Birth rates are on the rise so far in 2017. So far, the birth rate is already up 7.9% since 2016. This all goes back to the relaxation of the one-child law in China. Now that Chinese citizens can have 2 children, this is becoming an increasing problem.
Hello, Gabriel. I heard eating in China is great and that the food's awesome. Have you been to any restaurants eating? Or so, have you used any chopsticks?
Eating around here is very different. but also very similar. People eat with their families, but they use chopsticks. I went to a restaurant and tried to ask for a fork, but they said they didn't have any, and then they offered me chopsticks, and it just really confused me.
I heard over there that drinking is very popular and that drinking is almost everywhere. And people are very genuinely nice about drinking and that there are a lot of competitions. Have you entered in any?
Drinking in China is just as popular in the US, if not more. Every other bar has big drinking competitions, and many hosts are very sincere about paying for other people's drinks. I was at a party the other night, someone took care of all my bills, and there were a few competitions going on that night.
Last question. Having been staying in China for a while now, you've probably been to many of the holidays. How about Chinese New Year? I heard that's great. Or even Dragon Boat Festival. That's supposed to be amazing.
Been to both. Personally, I like Chinese New Year better because the people are much more genuinely nice and more excited for Chinese New Year than they are about the Dragon Boat Festival. The food and festivities were far better at the New Year than Boat Festival.